Good day, everyone. I am Ramsey Fer, an associate professor in the Institute of Liberal Arts and Sciences of the Philippine State College of Aeronautics. And today I will present my paper on a contrastive corpus-based analysis of rhetoric in Asian American and European low-cost carrier slogans. So let's get started. The COVID-19 pandemic has drastically affected various industries, and aviation is the hardest hit, which is seen in airline companies' predicament to survive while maintaining their credibility in a competitive market during this extra challenging time. And the impact is undeniably remarkable in millions of entities, for example, passengers, employees, companies, etc., that are falling into poverty and recession. And while this difficulty has posed challenges to various legacy airline companies, it has turned all flyers across the globe into flying a local carrier, henceforth LCC, for pragmatic reasons, which put a premium on LCCs as their airline choice. And such studies have been conducted to show the contrastive features of language and other rhetorical figures in different slogans. For instance, in the US and EU legal protection for slogan, advertising and inspirational slogans, corporation brand slogan, tourism slogans, and political and advertising slogans, and even political party slogans. However, there has been a scarcity in contrastive analysis of rhetorical and linguistic devices used in LCC slogans that promote their global and local identities ascribed to airline culture and belief systems. And the current study argues that the LCC is gaining either a global or local presence in the international aviation community, likewise strategically manipulate rhetorical figures and linguistic devices in their slogans, thus attracting more airline passengers to avail of their services, especially during the time of the pandemic. So this study attempts to uncover the social cultural attributions embedded in LCC slogans. So I have the following research questions posed in this study. Number one, which rhetorical and linguistic devices are categorically and specifically employed in LCC slogans? And how do the slogans rhetorically appeal in American, European, and Asian LCCs to attract more airline passengers? And what social cultural inferences or attributions can be drawn from American, European, and Asian LCCs slogans? So in this study, I have juxtaposed, okay, the theoretical and analytical frameworks used in the studies of Miller and Thoman in 2016 and Kurniawan in 2018. And to further illustrate the rhetorical devices you found in this study, I employed an analysis of rhetorical devices, which are categorized mainly based on two. These are the schemes and tropes, and that's based on Lay's taxonomy cited in Monsefi and Mahadi in 2017 and Laung Paul in 2021. And of course, this current study takes a corpus-based approach to analyze a collection of airline slogans from LCCs worldwide. And I have a set of selection criteria for LCC. So the first one is LCCs must be selected from the three traffic conference areas established by the International Air Transportation Association, or IATA. So you have the traffic conference area 1, okay, which includes North and South American continents. The traffic conference area 2, which represents European continents, and the traffic conference area 3, which represents the Asian continents. And the second criterion for selecting the LCC slogans is that the LCCs must have gained an international reputation through worldwide rankings. And the present study considered the worldwide ranking provided by Skytrax annually. And Skytrax surveyed 13.42 million the eligible entries that were accounted for from 2019 to 2021. And Skytrax ranks the airlines and generates the world's best low-cost carriers 2021. So the unit of analysis here is per word, and each slogan's word or number of words ranges from 2 to 8. And the data analysis here has three short, simple steps. I did the matrix of slogans per TCA or for traffic conference area represented by the LCCs, and the country of origin, the weighted average of words of all airlines. And secondly, I did a careful analysis of each rhetorical figures and linguistic devices in all slogans. And the third one is the labeling of the linguistic devices and rhetorical figures through McQuarrie and Mick, 1996, on rhetorical figures, and Nielsen and Nielsen, 1978 and 1978, and Prabhas 2017 on linguistic analysis of LCC slogans, and of course, the famous Aristotle's rhetorical appeals. And I also had to get the intercoding reliability testing, which achieved 95% agreement from the persons I have invited for the reliability of the coded data. And as you can see from the table, okay, this table shows the sample data representative of the 3 traffic conference areas established by IATA, obtained from the world's best low-cost carriers 2021. If you can see, the average number of words is 4.8, and you have here the LCCs from TC1 or Traffic Conference 1, Traffic Conference 2, Traffic Conference 3. You have the origin of the LCCs, and you have the slogans of each airline. And the next table shows that the most frequently occurring categories of linguistic devices are syntactic, okay, and semantic devices, while phonetic devices appear to be less occurring. And I'm so sorry, the characters here are quite small, but you can get to see the details in the paper which I have submitted. The predominance of morphological and syntactical and semantic devices is quite surprising in LCC slogans, since this does not show a significant pattern in the previous studies of Miller and Thoman, which ranks phonologically related rhetorical devices the highest. However, considering the specific category of phonetic devices, the results show the unity of a phonologically related linguistic device, and that the slogans heavily rely on alliteration. And in terms of morphological syntactical devices, all LCC's slogans linguistic devices vary in word, phrase, and sentential level, with a few morphological and repetitional construction occurrences. And the present study shows a significant pattern in the previous studies, divulging a high concentration of metaphor in slogans. Analyzing the rhetorical figures, the LCC slogans employed more tropes over schemes, and there is a predominance of tropes in airline slogans in contrast to brand slogans in Miller and Thoman 2016 study, which is evident in TCA1 or American LCCs. And the LCC slogans favors its construction through comparison, connotation, and word choices rather than word order, word omissions, letters, and sounds. And thus, it suggests that LCC slogans are more concerned about what and how they mean than how they are arranged and how they sound. In terms of the rhetorical appeal, looking closely at how slogans rhetorically appeal to airline passengers that aid their decision to choose LCCs to fly, the present study reveals that the LCCs slogans heavily rely on the rhetoric of pathos, followed by logos and ethos. And this rhetorically appeal is gleaned more predominantly from TCA2, suggesting that the European LCCs are more drawn from making their slogans appeal to airline passengers, emotion over logic, and authority presence. And as you can see from the slide, these are the unique social cultural attributions drawn from the LCC's slogans, okay? TCA1 or American LCCs identify that fosters a unique concern as they make their local and global presence, while European LCCs project a culture that identifies them, especially very conspicuous in the excessive use of self-reference, which endorses self-food, but remains committed to serving others, while Asian LCCs or TCA3 projects collective identity and authority presence. So these are some of the examples of the slogans opposite to the social cultural attributions. So finally, this study analyzed the rhetoric of 30 slogans of LCCs obtained from a Skytrax World's Best LCCs 2021 represented in the three TCA established by IATA. And the rhetorical figures and linguistic devices are employed in LCC slogans through phonetic, syntactic, and semantic devices. And such linguistic devices co-construct the overall rhetorical appeal of the slogans that may have influenced passengers' airline choices during the pandemic. The American LCC slogans project individualism through semantic devices, while the Asian LCC slogans index collectivism to show solidarity and unity. And finally, the European LCC slogans demonstrate selfhood during the use of self-reference, but maintain a commitment to others as a manifestation of egalitarian values among Europeans. And other entities such as Star Alliance, Sky Team, and One World groups may be incorporated in future studies. So this ends my presentation. I hope you learned something, and thank you so much.